What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys.
back here again with another video. Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play with Colin Kaepernick in Madden NFL 22. Kaepernick has been out of the NFL since January 2017, 5 months after he began kneeling during the national anthem to protest social justice and police violence. And that's pretty much about as deep as I'm going to go on the Kaepernick situation. Just know I'm a huge 49ers fan, and I really enjoyed Kaepernick on the 49ers, and I think it's really cool that even though he's 4 years removed from the NFL, that they still have him in the last two games. He's actually ranked with an overall 81 in this game, which is better than about half of the quarterbacks in the game. But being that he's technically a free agent, you're not going to find him on any of the regular teams. You would need to actually manually sign him to a team via the free agency. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that, just in case you guys are interested in playing as Kaepernick in Madden 22. Now, you want to start off by going to the NFL icon, and then you're going to go down to edit rosters. Now, before we sign him, let's go ahead and check him out. So go to manage players, and you can hold the left trigger, and you're going to go to all NFL. That's going to include the free agents. Now hold the right trigger and go down to the QB position. We're going to go down until we see Colin Kaepernick. He's going to be the only one that's a free agent until you get way far down the list. And there we go. We have Colin Kaepernick. Now this list has them in order based off of their overall rating. So in the game, Kaepernick's better than Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins, Trevor Lawrence, Ben Roethlisberger, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Jimmy Garoppolo, Cam Newton, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Tua Tagovailoa, I can never say his name right, Jameis Winston, Teddy Bridgewater, Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz, Andy Dalton, Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold, Drew Lock, Nick Foles, Gardner Minshew, Marcus Mariota, Trubisky, Joe Flacco, and that's pretty much the end of all of the starters. As you can see, he's better than a lot of the quarterbacks in the game, guys. That's pretty ridiculous, but Colin Kaepernick was a really good quarterback, and he did make it to a Super Bowl, so rating well deserved. So to sign him, you want to go to sign free agents. You're going to hold the left trigger, and you're going to go down to the 49ers, as this is the team that I'm going to put him on, but feel free to put him on your preferred team. After that, you're going to hold the right trigger and go to QB, and he's going to be the number one free agent at the QB position. Press A and then press yes to sign him to the 49ers or your preferred team. Now, depending on the quarterbacks on the team that you place him on, you may need to change his number to 7 because that was his real number. Now, the 49ers have a backup quarterback named Nate Sudfeld with the number 7, so I had to release him and change Kaepernick's number to number 7. Otherwise, it's automatically going to give him the number 8 if you placed him on the 49ers, and all the real Kaepernick fans know that his number was 7. Aside from that, we need to put him on the depth chart as the number 1 QB or the starting QB. First, I'm going to go ahead and save my roster, and then go down to order depth chart. And from here, you want to go to the 49ers team, hold left trigger, go down to 49ers, pick Kaepernick, and place him as the number 1 QB. From there, you can go ahead and press B, and we'll go ahead and check him out a bit. So I went ahead and started up a franchise with the 49ers having Kaepernick as the quarterback, and this is what he looks like in franchise mode. I'd say it looks fairly realistic in terms of what he looks like, but they could have done him a little more justice. I think there's some nuances in his face that they're missing in terms of making it look exactly like him, but I can imagine, Kaepernick wasn't their number 1 priority in terms of developing the game, but he looks good enough. So next, I wanted to go ahead and start up an exhibition match. I went ahead and started up a Super Bowl against the Seahawks, which I know isn't realistic because they're in the same division and in the same conference, but that's the rival, and that's how I wanted to set it up. So I'm going to show you guys some clips of Kaepernick during this game, as well as some highlights and some gameplay of me playing as Colin Kaepernick on the 49ers. I chose the Super Bowl just because you can get some pretty good cutscenes or clips of the players, in action. Well, not in action, but on the sidelines. So here's some actual gameplay of Kaepernick. I'm going to show you guys some highlights, some throwing, as well as some running. He's actually really good in the game, guys. As I mentioned, he's better than all of the quarterbacks that I listed earlier. So you guys may want to try to play with him in Madden 22. I mean, he's not Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady or anything like that, but he's the good old Kaepernick. you can definitely, run fast with him compared to a lot of other quarterbacks, and he has a really strong arm in the game as well. So yeah, I found that he's actually a really fun quarterback to play with if you want to mix things up. Like, can you imagine if Kaepernick was throwing to George Kittle? He'd probably have some huge plays like that one. As a 49er fan, I really liked Kaepernick, and I really wish we would have kept him through all of the drama and controversy, but I also really like Jimmy Garoppolo, and I really like Trey Lance. So at the end of the day, I think I'd take Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance over Kaepernick, but I really did enjoy having Kaepernick on our team. Personally, I thought it was really cool to see Kaepernick interacting with some of the current 49er players like Mostert and Deebo Samuel here. Make for some really cool sideline animations during the game. Now, after throwing a couple of deep balls, I decided to test his running abilities in Madden NFL 22. So here's some gameplay of Kaepernick making a run for it. Ultimately, I'm going to try to score a touchdown via running the ball, so we'll see how that goes. But first, let's run a Hail Mary. Let's see, really how far he can throw the ball. See, yeah, he can sling that thing. Unfortunately, that was pass interference, but that's a good example of how far Colin Kaepernick can throw the ball down the field. But anyhow, back to running the ball with him, because that's what we've seen a lot of when Kaepernick was actually playing. It's crazy because the Kaepernick, RG3, Russell Wilson era, that was the beginning of the mobile quarterback. Well, aside from Michael Vick way back in the day, but you guys get the idea. A lot of the teams are adopting the mobile quarterback now. But anyhow, there we go. I got my running touchdown with Colin Kaepernick. And that's going to wrap up my gameplay of Kaepernick in Madden NFL 22. And if you happen to be interested in achievements and trophies, make sure you guys check out my achievement guides for Madden 22. As always, I'd like to give a huge thank you to all of my Patreon subscribers. We just hit 16 patrons. I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in the biggest fan club, including Tim G84, AOJ, Kegger101, Kana25, Michael Banksa, and Purple Rain 6. As always, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and don't forget to like and subscribe.